We're back, Brooke.
Yeah.
Let's do another live. Let's answer some questions.
Break. Rested our voices a little.
Little break. We've got 35 minutes until the enrollment deadline, priority enrollment deadline.
Yep.
So as people jump on, I'm going to pop on our banner that just has ask a question in the chat.
Yep.
We'll let people jump on. We'll let them ask their questions. Hopefully we get a handful, and we will be here for 30 minutes. So if you are just joining us, put your question in the chat. It's right there.
And I'm Brooke, and this is...
Oh, way to mix it up, Darby. It doesn't work that way. It's the other way. I'm Darby, and this is Brooke.
I know.
You've got questions.
We've got answers.
Okay, somebody says our sound is off. It's not off on us. So if you're not hearing us, I'll just go ahead and create a quick little banner.
So please join, ask questions in the chat. If you have questions, if you're not hearing us, please let us know in the chat. If you have friends or family that you think BYU Pathway would be a great option for, please feel free to tag them in the comments or to share this feed with them. We're going to be here for the next half hour or so, just trying to answer as many questions as we can to help folks who have questions about enrolling, aren't sure what to do. We want to support.
Okay, Brooke, we've got our first question. Let me put it in here. Give me just a second. Hold on, sorry, 1 second. If you're just joining us, put your questions in the chat. We will answer all of these. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how many questions. Okay, sorry, let me put this one in here for you. And there's just a report that the website's been kind of slow. Have you heard that at all, Brooke?
I haven't heard that the website's been slow, but I do know that there's a lot of people on there right now trying to get their applications in before the deadline. So that's why it might be a little bit slow, but it shouldn't be slow in general. So if something's, I haven't heard any reports of it being slow.
Okay, if you're just joining us, put those questions in the chat. We're going to stay on for about 30 minutes. The priority enrollment deadline closes in 30 minutes. So we thought we would get on, try to answer all of your questions and help you out. Okay, here's our next one. Sorry, that one's kind of like got two things going on. I completed BYU Pathway several years ago. Do I need to re-enroll, or can I still just enroll into BYU Idaho? What's that going to look like for somebody who's coming back?
Yep. So if you have finished Pathway Connect already, awesome. Congratulations. You can go on to BYU Idaho or Ensign College online. If you want to start in January, you've got about 30 minutes to do it. And so what you're going to do is go to BYU-Pathway.edu and you're going to sign in. It should be using your church credentials. And then if you're having issues, please let us know. We'll do our best to try to help you. So if you want to go to BYU-Pathway.edu right now and try to sign in. And then once you're in your student portal, you're going to be able to go in there and say that you want to apply for an online certificate or degree program.
Awesome. If you're just joining us, put your questions in the chat. We would love to hear from you. This question says, how do I become a mentor?
Awesome. So mentors are hired through Bloom. So if you're interested in becoming a mentor, you're going to want to go to hirebloom.com. And all mentor hiring decisions are made by our vendor.
Okay, so wonderful questions. Keep them coming. We're just getting started here. So, hey, it's great to become a BYU Pathway student. We love that. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what's happening.
Yeah. What you're taking, what you're studying.
Okay, so we just finished up a live, so we probably hit a lot of the questions that were coming in. Here's another one for you, Brooke. Yeah. This question says, hello, I did Pathway Connect in 2020, and I want to continue in April in the new program. I want to know when I can apply for that. So they don't even need to wait till April, right, Brooke?
No.
What's that going to look like?
So Polly, if you want to, or Polly David, if you want to start your application to start classes in January, you can start in January and in April switch to the 90 credit degree. So you can go to BYU-Pathway.edu and you're going to go to sign in using your church account information. And then in your student portal, there should be a drop down for you to say that you want to apply for an online certificate or degree program. So Sorry, I've been sick the last week. 1 second.
We'll let Brooke cough it out for a second. She'll be back. She's being a trooper. We're going to stay live for 30 minutes. The enrollment deadline, we have 30 more minutes. Ask all of your questions. Brooke pretty much knows every answer. And if you stump her, I will be really impressed. It's pretty hard to do. Okay, I'll let you finish up that question, Brooke.
So you're going to want to go in and start your application. If you start your application by midnight, you don't have to have everything figured out or finished or your endorsements or anything. You just need to get your application started so that they can plan for you for January. If that feels like, oh, that's too much, that's too tight, I don't want to do that, you can wait until the middle of January when the applications are open for April to get started.
Awesome. And for those of you who said, sorry to hear that Brooke is sick, you know, you can't really keep Brooke down. She was sick for about a day and now she's just working. So that's what you do when it's an enrollment deadline. You just work. Okay. So just a minute ago, we had this just shout out, and then this is just kind of our follow-up here that says, how do I get a job after my first certificate? So this would be a great opportunity to tell people about learning how to use LinkedIn to start connecting and displaying. I'll get the URL up for that, Brooke, if you want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah. So LinkedIn is an awesome program to be able to use. And we actually created a guide for students at BYU-Pathway.edu/LinkedIn. So for students who are interested in getting a really great profile, we recommend that and setting yourself up that you're open to work, that you're open for remote opportunities. There's also, if you're a current BYU Pathway student, some phrases that you can put into your LinkedIn profile. So we have some employers and some partners who are looking to hire BYU Pathway students specifically. So go to BYU-Pathway.edu/LinkedIn, take a look at that guide. That's one great opportunity. And then we also have a friends and alumni group on LinkedIn. I'd love for you to join that group. It's a great opportunity for you to just get connected with other students that are working on a finished Pathway Connect and are working on certificates and degrees. It's a great way for folks to get involved and participate. And in the new year, we're going to be having some lives specific to job readiness and resumes and some really cool things coming down.
Awesome. Okay, I think you finished answering this question. I just wanted to make sure before I moved on. Okay.
Yep.
Feeling great. If you're just joining us, again, my name is Darby and this is Brooke. And we are both employees with BYU Pathway in the marketing department. We don't know every answer, but it's pretty hard to find a question that Brooke doesn't know the answer to, or at least knows how to point you in the right direction. We love to hear your questions. Put your questions in the chat. Today is the priority enrollment deadline for Pathway Connect, and it is the hard deadline if you're going to enter into BYU, Idaho, or Ensign College to work on your degree. So that doesn't mean you need to finish your application. That just means you need to start your application, and then you'll have a couple of weeks to finish that up. Okay, so here is just a shout out. I signed up and my classes start next month. I am very excited, and we are very excited for you.
We're so excited to have you. That's awesome.
I'm going to be taking a Spanish class through BYU Idaho next semester, and I anticipate doing very poorly. So I will just commiserate with all of you as I work on that. Going back to school is always intimidating. Brooke is working on her master's degree right now, and so she and I talk a lot about school and how hard it is to balance. And so we're just really impressed with all of you, and even more so if you're doing your degree or Pathway Connect in a second language. That is hard, and we are here to cheer you on. This is what it's all about. Okay, I've had a problem with my branch president. He didn't want to endorse me due to the fact. Okay, so there's some complications there, Brooke.
Yeah. So it sounds like there's some complications. So I would say I would reach out to your district president or your stake president to work through those endorsement issues. It sounds like there might be some other things going on. We're sorry that you're having a hard time getting everything going. We want to help the best we can. Our first recommendation is going to be to work with your stake president or district president.
Okay, these are awesome questions. Okay, so the next one says, hey, I finished Pathway Connect and the application for BYU Idaho, but my endorsement is showing as pending instead of completed. Now, the endorsement is two parts. You're going to go to your bishop first and then you're going to go to your stake president. So if you've made an appointment and met with your bishop, I think it's literally just a button they push and it sends it to the stake president. You will probably need to reach out and make an appointment. And you're going to do that with the executive secretary or the person in your area who's going to make the appointments for the bishop. If you don't know who that is, you should be able to look it up on tools. Or you can ask around and find out who makes those appointments in your stake or ward. But it is 2 parts. And my guess is that you might have only done 1 part, and that second part needs to be done. I just had an endorsement done. And once that stake president interview was done, it did show up very quickly. So I'm guessing, and I'm hoping there's not an error, and it's just there's a step that you need to finish. How do I get my Pathway Connect certificate? So the Pathway Connect certificate is not mailed. It is digital version only. So you're going to log in, you're going to go to BYU-Pathway.edu. You're going to log into what's called your student portal. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little icon of a person. And I believe you click on that, right, Brooke? And then you're able to access and print that, put it on LinkedIn. That would be a couple of places that you might put that certificate to show that off.
Yep. And if you just finished Pathway Connect this past, last week, your certificate should be in your student portal before the end of the year. So they're working through all of that right now.
Okay, so there kind of a follow-up to that ecclesiastical endorsement question, Brooke. I'll let you look at that real quick and offer any other insight that you might have.
Okay. If you could send us a direct message with this information, that would be helpful, and we will see what we can do to assist. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. And we got that question. So keep these questions coming. I'm going to look and see. I'm going to look through the queue and see what we have coming up. While Brooke waits for me to do that, let me pull up a couple of quick things and questions that we get all of the time. So tuition discounts are a really important one that people need to know about when it comes to BYU Pathway.
Yes. So this is awesome. So after you enroll, but before you pay your tuition, you have a great opportunity. And even after you've paid your tuition, you can still do this. I just recommend you do it before, if possible. You'll in your student portal, you'll see a banner ad, an option for you to learn about the life of President Heber J. Grant. So Heber J. Grant was the prophet of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in the early 1900s. So you're going to learn a little bit more about his life and about self-reliance and church welfare. And then you'll answer some questions about your life. And then you're going to receive 10, 25, or 50% off. It's a great opportunity. We recommend all students to take advantage of this tuition discount. It is awesome. It's such a great way for students to get a little edge. It's a true tuition discount. It's not something that needs to be paid back at the end of your term.
Brooke, while we're on the topic of tuition discounts, let's also talk about the missionary tuition discount, who it applies to, and how somebody would qualify for it.
Love it. Yes. So the recently returned missionary tuition discount is available for anyone who has returned home from a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as a young missionary in the last 5 years. So this tuition discount is good for 5 years from the day you come home. And it stacks with the Heber J. Grant tuition discount. So if you've come home from a mission in the last 5 years, you're going to be eligible for this discount. It's going to be automatically applied into your account, and then it will stack with the Heber J. Grant tuition discount. So after you complete that, it's $35. I just lost my whole train of thought. Sorry, I've done pretty good today, but my brain is like, what? So it's going to be 35, 70, or between 35 and 75% off.
I'm just letting Brooke flounder here. It's pretty fun. She doesn't do this very often, so it's great. Hey, so the next question says, hey, I'd love to sign up for the first time. So let's talk about like how one signs up and then any advice we might have, and we'll kind of hit both of those. So in order to sign up, it's really easy. I'll pull up the URL here for you, Brooke.
Perfect. So you're going to go to BYU-Pathway.edu, In the upper right-hand corner, there's a button that says apply for free. That's going to take you to our admissions page where you can learn a little bit more about BYU Pathway Worldwide. And when you're ready to apply, you're going to click on the button that says apply now on the admissions page. And then you will need a church account. Now, you don't have to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in order to participate, but you will need to go ahead and create a church account if you don't already have one. And then with your church account, you will log into the system. You'll answer some questions about your life. If English is not your native language, you will need to take a free English language assessment. And then you'll go through, answer some more questions. Without taking the English language assessment, it should take about 15 minutes. With taking the English language assessment, it may take up to an hour to complete the application, but there's no application fee. There's no essays. It's a great opportunity for you to get started in university.
Okay, we have a couple of questions that are under the same category. So I'm going to open up a few of these. Is it too late to apply for this semester?
No. So if
Do I still have time?
Yes. So a couple of things. If you are applying for Pathway Connect, great. Today is the guaranteed, the priority deadline, if you will. We're going to still let people in so long as we can after today, but get your application started. If you are looking to go to BYU Idaho or Ensign College online directly, or you've finished Pathway Connect, you've got about 18 minutes to get that application started. So please log into your student portal. And go to the spot where it says that you want to apply for an online degree program so that you're able to start in January. But absolutely still time for you to enroll and to apply.
Okay, keep putting your questions in the chat. We are trying to go as quickly as Brooke can answer these questions. How much is it to take the course? I'm going to pull up the URL for the tuition, and I'll let Brooke chime in real quick.
Perfect. So tuition is different based on where you live. So you're going to want to go to BYUpathway.edu/tuition to see what it costs in your home country.
Amazing. Okay, we're going to keep going here. We're cruising. Okay, so I start Pathway Connect 103 in January. Talking about public health. Okay, so I'm going to let you kind of read that for a second, Brooke, and see if you you have any thoughts there.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. So it sounds like what you've taken your first class toward your first certificate, and then if you so after you finish Pathway Connect 103, you're going to apply to BYU Idaho or Ensign College online to continue that public health degree. And so you will just continue working on that certificate. So BYU Pathway is set up. So typically when you go to university, you walk away with a bachelor's degree. That's what I did. That's what Darby did. But BYU Pathway is really great and a unique opportunity where in the same amount of time, the same amount of money, you're going to walk away with 3 certificates, an associate's degree, and a bachelor's degree. So really great opportunities for continual improvement, continual accreditation along the way. And so you'll just continue working through those classes after you finish Pathway Connect and officially go to BYU Idaho or Ensign College online.
Fabulous. Okay, we're going to keep going here. When's the last day to apply? We're just going to call that out again because that's an important one.
So for Ensign College or BYU Idaho online, it's going to be today is the last day to do that. But if you are looking to start with Pathway Connect, you still have time to get that application started.
Okay, we have a question about transcripts, working on transcripts. How long does it take? And also what's next after Pathway Connect?
Yeah. So after Pathway Connect, you can continue on to BYU Idaho and Ensign College online. One second, sorry. And so you're going to have a great opportunity to be able to study online, take advantage of that opportunity. If you are interested in going to a campus, you can do that, but you'll need to work directly with that university that you're interested in going on campus with. So you'll want to take that opportunity. But with BYU-Pathway, you're going to be able to continue studying exactly where you are. With Pathway Connect, the certificates and transcripts are all available in your student portal. If you're still having issues or concerns, please send us a direct message and we'll do our best to help get you the answers that you need.
Awesome. Because we have about 15 minutes till the deadline closes to enter the universities, I wanted to jump ahead to this one. Having some trouble getting started with the application towards Ensign College. Brooke, have you heard anything about any problems, or what should they do?
Yep. So I haven't heard of any issues. So you do need to have a 3.0 or higher in order to continue on to Ensign College online. And so if you could give us some additional information, that would be helpful.
Awesome. We're going to keep cruising here. Here's about the missionary tuition discount. Is it for service missionaries too?
If you are a young service missionary, yes. So if you are under the age, I believe for young men it's 25, and for young women it's 30. So if you are on an official full-time service mission, yes.
Okay, fabulous. Okay. Oh, we've been an answered prayers. I'm so glad you asked your question. That's what Brooke and I are here for. Put your questions in the chat. We want to answer them. Brooke knows almost every answer to almost every question. I've only seen her stumped maybe a few times. So you've hit the right place to get all the questions. And I'm capable of just reading questions really fast. So do you offer scholarships? We have two. Let's talk about Heber J. Grant. And then we just talked about missionary tuition discount. So we'll just jump to Heber J. Grant.
Awesome. Yep. So the recently returned missionary tuition discount, we just talked about that. So the Heber J. Grant tuition discount is good for all students worldwide. It's a true tuition discount. It's not something that needs to be paid back. So after you enroll, but before you pay your tuition is when I like to recommend that people do it. You're going to save 10, 25, or 50% off your tuition. And that tuition discount is good for 2 years. And then you'll retake the assessment and just see what's going on. If anything has changed significantly in your financial situation, please just reach out to your mentor and they can talk with you individually about other opportunities potentially.
Okay. I'm trying to do all of these questions in order, but there are a few that are a little bit relevant to the timeline that we have. Yep. So this question says, hey, I'm trying to retake the introductory course, trying to enroll in Pathway Connect 103. I'm kind of failing to do so. Any thoughts, Brooke?
So if you're having a hard time getting back in, I just want to understand, are you ready to go to BYU Idaho or Ensign College Online? Are you already in BYU Idaho or Ensign College Online? So you need a 3.0 in your Pathway Connect coursework. So your certificate course, you actually don't need a B or higher in order to go on to BYU Idaho or Ensign College. And you'll have the opportunity to retake that introductory certificate once you're enrolled online. So send us some more information. We're happy to try to help the best we can.
Awesome. And real quick, the priority deadline is tonight. Yep. So if you are looking to enter BYU Idaho or Ensign College, just start the application. You don't have to finish it. You'll have a little bit of time. For Pathway Connect, it's going to stay open a little bit longer as much as there is room. But also starting the application takes 3 minutes.
Yep.
So we have a series of questions. Elvis had a series of questions here about graduation. So Brooke, this first one is, after I've all completed, can I come in person for graduation? Yes. Or will my degree be sent? Yes, to your location. And then a couple of follow-up questions, like, am I going to need a visa? I don't actually know, because it's just a visit. Do you know anything about kind of those travel things, Brooke?
Yeah. So depending on what your home country is, you might need a tourist visa to come for graduation. And so it's not a means to get you here permanently or to go to school here, but to come for graduation, absolutely. Darby and I were at BYU Idaho's graduation last week celebrating some of our online students, and we met folks from just about every continent. Asia, Africa, Europe, South America, Central America, and North America. So I think we hit everyone but Antarctica. Yeah. And so it was so fun to be able to have folks there and to celebrate.
Perfect. So, how does
Probably
somebody?
mailed to you. Sorry, I forgot
Yes,
to.
it will be mailed. It will be mailed. How do they apply, Brooke?
Yep. So you're going to go to BYU-Pathway.edu, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's a gold button that says apply for free. That will take you to our admissions page where you can learn a little bit more about BYU Pathway. And then when you're ready, you're going to click the button that says apply now. And you'll log in using your church account. You don't need to be a member of the church to participate, but you do need a church account in order to do that. So you will log in using that, and then you'll answer a series of questions.
Okay, so I just joined. Does the 3-year bachelor degree have a deadline to apply?
Yep.
So let's talk about when that's going to kind of take place.
Yeah. So the 3-year degree is going to start in April. So it's awesome you just started. That's perfect timing. You're going to be eligible and able to do the 3-year degree once it officially launches in April. So the classes you're taking in January will be perfect. They'll still apply. And so there's not anything specific that you'll need to do when you matriculate or go on to BYU Idaho and Ensign College online. That will be the standard option at that point.
Amazing. Okay, how do you take exams? I believe everything is just proctored online. That's what it's called when you take an exam online, and the university manages that, and each course is a little bit different. So it is all managed online.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, question. Kind of a graduation question after they finish their degree. So like Brooke was saying earlier, we have some people who travel for graduation. That's something that they save and plan for. That is by no means a requirement. Your diploma and your certificates will be mailed to you at your home. It can take a while, and those are the digital versions of those will be available in your student portal. The only certificate that's not available is going to be your Pathway Connect certificate. So let me find. Well, I had a question about that. Somebody was asking, they finished Pathway Connect a while ago and they didn't get their certificate.
Yep.
So, Brooke, anything about that?
Yeah. So your Pathway Connect certificate is not mailed to you. It should be in your student portal. So you're going to just log into your student portal. There should be an option for you to download a PDF version of your certificate, and then you'll have a digital version, or you can print that locally.
Again, a graduation question. Traveling from Korea to the US, they really want to celebrate in 2025. We had students come in from Japan, pretty much, I think we decided just about every continent except Antarctica. So that is definitely something that is, that you can do and you can plan for. You'll just want to plan it like you would any trip. Make sure that you have the proper visas or travel passports to make that happen. And BYU Idaho, if you're graduating from BYU Idaho, does 3 graduations a year. I really loved the graduation in July. This one we had last week was a little cold. So it depends on when you're graduating. It can be fun to come in the summer and see the United States in the summer.
It's awesome.
Okay. Got a little shout out here. No question. Just want to get a shout out. We love BYU Pathway. We love you too.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you everyone for asking your questions. I'm going to get a few more ready for Brooke here, and I'm going to give her a banner here to talk about the enrollment deadline today.
Yep. So if you are just joining us and you finished Pathway Connect 103 and you're thinking about doing BYU Idaho or Ensign College online, you've got 6 minutes to start your application to start classes in January. So you're going to go to BYU-Pathway.edu. You're going to log in and you're going to go into your student portal and indicate that you want to start an application for an online degree program. You don't have to have everything figured out, but you do have to have that application started in the next 6 minutes. So please make sure you're doing that. If you are getting ready to start Pathway Connect, love it. Tonight is also the priority deadline for that, but we are going to continue to let folks in so long as we haven't met our enrollment cap in your area. So please continue to start the application, share it with friends who you think would be a good fit. We love invite a friend. So if you're thinking, hey, maybe I want to do this, but I don't want to do it by myself, tell a friend. They've got time to be able to enroll as well. So again, you're going to go to BYU-Pathway.edu. You'll click as if you're a new student on that apply for free button, and you'll go to our admissions page to learn a little bit more. And on that page, you'll click apply now to get your application started for Pathway Connect.
Fabulous. Yep. 5 minutes left. If you are on the fence and you're thinking about it, like Brooke said, it's a hard deadline today. If you're going to enter BYU, Idaho, or Ensign College, just get the application started. You do not have to finish it. It's relatively short. I just completed one recently myself. The longest part is the endorsement, but you'll have time to complete that. If you are stalled at the endorsement, just make sure that you reach out and get an appointment scheduled with your bishop, and then get an appointment scheduled with your stake president. They don't always see those, and so you're going to need to be proactive and reach out to them. It took me, I think, a week to get mine done, and it was pretty fast. They were very accommodating in getting those done for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't see any other questions right here, Brooke. So we'll just finish up by talking about just these deadlines right here. So classes start January 8th.
Mm-hmm.
That's not too far away, so things will get started pretty quick. If they're waiting on the endorsement, how long do they have to get that done, Brooke?
So you've got about 10 days to get that endorsement done. So don't stress if it's taking a little bit longer. We want to help you get that done, but you just need to get that application started in the next 4 minutes.
No big deal.
No big deal. I'm telephoning this, giving minutes. We just don't want you to miss out on an opportunity if you want.
We just like to make it known. Okay, well, we'll talk about our tuition discounts for just a minute while we're waiting. So the Heber J. Grant tuition discount is available to all students, and it applies through their entire degree, starting with Pathway Connect all the way through their degree. 10, 25, or 50% off, depending on your need. You watch some videos, answer some questions, and you do that after you've actually applied. So it's not terribly long. I think it took me 20, maybe 30 minutes. It's been a little while since I did it, but it's not terribly long, and you learn a little bit about self-reliance and frugality and preparing for the future and saving. It's a nice little lesson. Now, the one that stacks with that is if you are a young missionary and you've recently returned, you have 5 years after your mission that you qualify for the missionary tuition discount. That can be combined with the Heber J. Grant tuition discount, which is really amazing. Yeah. So minimum of 35% off, and that starts from the day you return and then 5 years. And what do service missionaries need to know in regards to that, Brooke?
Yep. So if you are a young full-time service missionary, you are also eligible for the recently returned missionary tuition discount. So if you are serving as a part-time service missionary, then this is not a tuition discount that you're eligible for. So this is for young full-time service missionaries, whether you served 6 months or 18 months or 24 months on a service mission, you are also eligible for this tuition discount.
Okay, so are there any new degrees that BYU Pathway is planning on adding, and if so, which ones? So Brooke and I are not in the conversations about new degrees, so we haven't heard of any, but if we do hear of any, we will definitely be sharing them. But as of right now, I do not think there are any. We have 7. You can find out about the degrees by going to the URL that I will eventually find here, byupathway.edu/degrees. Program list is just one level down. If you are curious about what those are. Brooke, how fast can you rattle them off?
Applied business, applied health, communication, information technology, oh my gosh, web development, professional studies, human and family studies.
Killing it. So, okay, is the tuition in USD?
Yes. So the tuition is in USD, and so you'll need to see what the conversion rate is for your home country.
Awesome. Okay. Are there any discounts for single moms, Brooke? Anything? And let me pull this one up here. Do you know, we have just our 2 tuition discounts. I don't know of any others that are offered.
Yeah, we don't have anything right now specific for single moms, but that's a great question, and it's something that we'll ask about in the future. So I know.
Go on.
I was just going to say, I know that depending on where you live in the world, there are some private scholarships available for single moms. So I would look into some private scholarship opportunities.
Okay, we have a few more from Instagram that I wanted to finish up with. Hey, I just joined. Does a 3-year bachelor program have a deadline to apply?
There's not a specific deadline to apply, so it's just going to be part of your application process to go into BYU Idaho or Ensign College. That's going to be starting and available in January.
Okay, and this is a question about relocating, trying to study on campus.
Yep. So BYU Pathway is not designed specifically to get you to campus. So if that's something that you are interested in doing, you'll need to work with the university that you are wanting to go and become a campus student at.
Awesome. And right here, hey, I noticed there's different programs of study from BYU Idaho that are listed. What can I take something different? Brooke, do you have an answer for this?
Yep. So if you are a BYU Idaho campus student, you can take anything you want. Or if you were a campus student at some point, there are some programs available only through BYU Idaho. If you are a BYU Pathway student, you can't take classes or programs outside of what's available through BYU Pathway worldwide.
And this was answered also in the chat, but what are the major differences between like software development and an IT degree? I don't know the nuances of the difference. Do you know, Brooke?
I don't know the nuances off the top of my head, but if you go to BYUpathway.edu/degrees/program list, you're going to be able to look at the different technology degrees and do a comparison of what the bachelor's degree for information technology versus web development looks like and what some of the outcomes are.
Amazing. Okay, so now the priority enrollment deadline has passed, but if you are looking to enroll in Pathway Connect, those will stay open. Enrollment will stay open as long as there is space. Yep. Classes start January 8th. Enrollment will close before then as we get prepared to to have classes start. So if you are interested in joining, you can probably still do that in most areas. Traditionally, like areas have closed within a couple of days of the priority enrollment deadline as we look at enrollment numbers.
Yeah.
So if you're still on the fence, get that going. I don't see any other questions for us, Brooke. So why don't we wrap up and we'll be back doing lives after Christmas.
Okay, awesome.
So
perfect. Thanks so much. Have a great
all right.
night.
See you, everyone.
Yeah.